God's way of handling those who have wronged us is far beyond anything we could orchestrate ourselves. When we are hurt, betrayed, or mistreated, the first instinct for many is to seek justice in their own way. There's a natural desire to make sure the person who hurt us feels the same pain, to see them face consequences, or to ensure they never have the chance to do it again. But when we step back and look at the bigger picture, we realize something profound. Justice does not belong in our hands. There is a law in place, a divine order that governs everything. Every action has a consequence, and no deed, good or bad, goes unnoticed. This is why it is so important to release the burden of revenge. The moment we try to take control of the situation ourselves, we step outside the realm of faith and into a space of resistance. We begin to operate in frustration, anger, and sometimes even hatred, which are energies that do not serve us. We become so focused on making sure the other person pays for what they did that we end up trapping ourselves in the process. Imagine carrying a heavy load on your back, walking through life with every betrayal, every harsh word, every unfair situation weighing you down. The more you focus on what someone else did to you, the heavier the burden becomes. But what happens when you decide to release it? What happens when you choose to trust that God sees everything and that nothing escapes His sight? You walk lighter. You move forward without chains. You allow space for better things to enter your life. One of the most powerful things to understand is that no one gets away with anything. It may look like they are prospering. It may seem like they are living their best life while you are still dealing with the pain. But don't let appearances fool you. What a person does in the dark always comes to light. It might not happen immediately, and it might not happen in a way that is visible to you, but the natural laws of the universe ensure that every action has a return. Some people spend years waiting for karma to catch up to someone who wronged them, thinking that justice must come in a way they can see and understand. But divine justice does not work on human timing. It does not always manifest in the way we expect. Sometimes the person who hurt you goes on to experience losses in areas of their life you will never witness. Sometimes they wrestle with inner turmoil, guilt, or repeated failures that stem directly from the energy they have put into the world. The important thing is that you do not have to concern yourself with when or how justice will be served. That is not your burden to carry. When you hold on to resentment, you are keeping yourself tied to that person, giving them control over your emotions long after the incident has passed. It may feel like refusing to let go is a way of holding them accountable, but in reality, it is only keeping you stuck. The moment you decide to release the need for revenge and instead trust that things will unfold as they should, you are setting yourself free. Think about this. Have you ever seen someone do wrong repeatedly, only to find that later in life they face challenges or downfalls they never expected? It's not a coincidence. Life operates on a principle of balance. You cannot plant seeds of negativity and expect to harvest joy. You cannot hurt others and expect to thrive indefinitely. And the same applies to you when you decide to shift your focus away from the wrong that has been done to you and instead pour your energy into growth, healing, and progress. You move into alignment with something greater. You step into a space where you are no longer shackled by the actions of others, but instead empowered by your own choices. This does not mean that you ignore injustice. It does not mean that you allow people to continue mistreating you. It simply means that you recognize that your energy is too valuable to be wasted on bitterness. It means that you understand that real power comes from knowing that you do not need to chase revenge, because what is meant to be handled will be handled in due time. It may not always feel fair. It may feel like you are letting someone off the hook. But think about this. When you release the need for justice on your terms, you make space for divine justice to work in ways beyond what you could ever orchestrate. You make room for peace to enter your life. You allow yourself to move forward without the weight of anger. Some of the most successful, peaceful, and fulfilled people you will ever meet are those who have mastered the art of letting go and trusting that everything will be taken care of. They do not waste energy on those who have wronged them. They do not sit around hoping for someone's downfall. They channel their focus into what truly matters: growth, purpose, and becoming the best version of themselves. And as a result, they rise. There is something powerful about knowing that no matter what happens, you do not have to lower yourself to the level of those who hurt you. You do not have to scheme, plot, or waste time on negativity. Your only job is to keep moving forward. Because when you do, you place yourself in a position to receive the kind of justice that goes beyond human understanding, the kind that restores, elevates, and transforms your life in ways you never imagined. Forgiveness is one of the most misunderstood concepts in life. Many people believe that forgiving someone means excusing what they did or pretending that the pain they caused doesn't matter. Some think that forgiving means allowing that person to continue hurting them, that it means weakness, or that it lets the other person off the hook. But true forgiveness has nothing to do with the other person and everything to do with you. It is not about erasing the past. It is about freeing yourself from its grip. It is about releasing the invisible chains that keep you tied to anger, bitterness, and resentment, which do nothing but drain your energy and keep you stuck in the same emotional state. When you hold on to bitterness, you are allowing someone else's actions to control your emotions long after the event has passed. It is as if they are still hurting you over and over again, because every time you replay what they did in your mind, you relive the same pain. And the more you focus on that pain, the more you reinforce it within yourself, giving it power, allowing it to shape your thoughts, your mood, and even your outlook on life. That is why refusing to forgive is not an act of strength, but of self-destruction. Many people believe that they will forgive when they feel like it, but the truth is, forgiveness is not an emotion, it is a decision. If you wait until you feel like forgiving, you may never do it, because the pain can feel too deep, too personal, too unfair. But when you make the decision to forgive, something shifts inside you. It doesn't mean the pain instantly disappears, but it does mean that you are choosing to move forward instead of staying stuck in the past. Some people hold on to grudges as a way of maintaining control. They think, if I stay angry, they won't win. But in reality, the opposite is true. The longer you hold on to resentment, the longer that person has control over you. They may not even be thinking about you, but you are allowing them to take up space in your mind, influencing your thoughts and emotions, keeping you from fully enjoying your life. When you forgive, you take back your power. You say, I will not let what happened define me. I will not allow this pain to dictate my future. It is also important to understand that forgiveness does not mean reconciliation. Some people are toxic, and forgiving them does not mean you invite them back into your life. It does not mean you trust them again or put yourself in a position to be hurt once more. Forgiveness is about releasing the hold that their actions have over you, not about giving them another opportunity to harm you. There is wisdom in setting boundaries. You can forgive someone completely while also recognizing that they are not meant to be part of your future. One of the greatest truths about forgiveness is that it is more for your benefit than for the person you are forgiving. You are the one who carries the weight of resentment, not them. When you forgive, you lift that weight off yourself. It is like releasing a heavy burden that has been slowing you down for years, allowing yourself to move forward with lightness, peace, and clarity. Many times people assume that if they forgive, justice will not be served, that the person who wronged them will never face consequences. But forgiveness and justice are two separate things. You can forgive while still allowing consequences to unfold as they should. You can release bitterness while trusting that divine justice will take care of the rest. Forgiveness does not mean you ignore wrongdoing. It means you refuse to let it consume you. It means you understand that your energy is too valuable to waste on resentment. There is something incredibly powerful about deciding that you will no longer be a prisoner to what someone else did to you, that you will not allow their actions to control your happiness, your peace, or your future. When you forgive, you are not saying that what happened was okay. You are saying that you refuse to let it define you. You are choosing your own well-being over the weight of anger. You are making space in your life for joy, for peace, and for the blessings that are waiting for you on the other side of resentment. So many people carry the wounds of the past, letting them fester, letting them turn into deep-seated bitterness that affects every aspect of their lives. They think they have moved on, but the anger is still there, buried beneath the surface, shaping their relationships, their mindset, their ability to trust, and even their health. Studies have shown that prolonged anger and resentment can contribute to stress, anxiety, and even physical illness. The body keeps score of unresolved emotions. Holding on to bitterness does not punish the person who wronged you. It only hurts you. Think about the people in your life who seem the happiest, the most at peace. They are not the ones who have never been hurt. They're the ones who have learned to let go. They have learned that their peace is too important to be sacrificed for resentment. They have chosen to forgive, not because the other person deserved it, but because they deserved freedom from the weight of bitterness. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. It is a decision to break free from the emotional prison of the past and step into a future filled with lightness, clarity, and joy. It is a declaration that you will not let anger dictate your life, that you will rise above, that you will embrace peace, and that you will move forward without carrying the baggage of what someone else did. The mind is the most powerful tool we have, yet so many people allow it to be controlled by external circumstances rather than taking control of it themselves. When someone hurts us, it is easy to fall into a pattern of negative thinking, replaying the situation over and over, questioning why it happened, and letting anger or sadness consume us. The problem with this is that whatever we focus on expands. If we continuously think about the pain, the betrayal, the unfairness of it all, we deepen those emotions, making them even more ingrained in our subconscious. Instead of healing, we reinforce the pain. Instead of moving forward, we stay stuck. There is a profound truth that many people overlook. It is not what happens to you that shapes your life, but how you respond to it. The same event can happen to two different people, and one will let it break them while the other will use it as fuel to grow stronger. The difference is not in the event itself, but in the mindset of the person experiencing it. When you understand that your mind is the gatekeeper of your emotions, you realize that you have the power to decide what you allow in and what you reject. You are not a slave to your emotions. You are the master of them. Many people operate under the belief that emotions just happen to them, that they have no control over how they feel. But emotions are a direct result of thoughts. If you wake up every morning thinking about how unfairly you were treated, how much someone hurt you, how things should have gone differently, then of course you are going to feel angry, sad, or frustrated. But if you wake up and consciously choose to shift your thoughts, focusing on what you can learn from the experience, how you can grow from it, and what opportunities lie ahead, you will notice that your emotions start to change as well. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant in it will grow. If you plant seeds of resentment, bitterness, and self-pity, those emotions will take root and spread, dominating your inner world. But if you plant seeds of strength, resilience, and faith in something greater, you will cultivate a mindset that allows you to rise above any situation. The key is to be intentional about what you allow yourself to dwell on. It is easy to get caught up in negative thinking, especially when you feel justified in your emotions. When someone wrongs you, your mind wants to replay the scenario repeatedly, almost as if trying to find a different outcome. You might go over conversations in your head, imagining what you should have said, or what you wish had happened instead. But none of that changes the reality of the situation. All it does is keep you stuck in the past, preventing you from moving forward. The only way to break free from this cycle is to make a conscious decision to shift your focus. Every time your mind starts to dwell on the past, redirect it. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? What is this teaching me about myself, about life, about what I truly want? These questions shift your mindset from victimhood to empowerment. They take you from a place of helplessness to a place of growth. Another important thing to understand is that your emotions are not permanent. They feel overwhelming in the moment, but they are like waves. They rise, they peak, and then they pass. The problem is that most people don't allow them to pass. Instead, they hold on to them, feeding them with constant thoughts, refusing to let them go. But when you learn to observe your emotions instead of being controlled by them, you gain the power to let them move through you without letting them define you. Some people let their pain become their identity. They hold on to their hurt as if it is a part of who they are. They tell themselves stories about how unfair life has been to them, about how no one understands their struggles, about how they are destined to suffer. But these are just narratives created by the mind. They are not reality. You have the power to rewrite your story at any moment. But it requires a shift in perspective. The truth is, you are not your past. You are not what happened to you. You are not defined by someone else's actions. You are defined by how you choose to respond to life. You can let pain make you bitter, or you can let it make you wiser. You can let it close your heart, or you can let it open you up to new possibilities. The choice is always yours. One of the most powerful ways to change your mindset is through gratitude. It may seem impossible to feel grateful when you are in pain, but gratitude is not about ignoring the hurt. It is about shifting your focus to what is still good in your life. No matter how difficult a situation may be, there is always something to be grateful for. The more you train your mind to look for these things, the less control negativity has over you. Another powerful practice is visualization. Instead of replaying painful memories, start visualizing the future you want. See yourself happy, at peace, thriving despite everything you have been through. Your mind does not know the difference between what is real and what is imagined. When you visualize a positive future, you train your brain to move toward it. Your mindset is everything. It determines whether you stay stuck in pain or rise above it. It determines whether you live in a state of resentment or a state of peace. And the most beautiful thing about it is that you have complete control over it. The moment you decide to take control of your thoughts, you take control of your emotions. And when you take control of your emotions, you take control of your life. Healing is not an overnight process. It is not something that happens simply because you want it to. It requires intentional effort, self-awareness, and a willingness to release what no longer serves you. Many people carry their pain for years, holding on to it as if it is a part of who they are, not realizing that in doing so, they are allowing their past to dictate their future. They become prisoners of their own emotions, replaying the hurt, reliving the betrayal, and reinforcing the very pain they wish to escape. The truth is, healing does not come from waiting for time to fix things. It comes from actively choosing to let go, to move forward, and to rebuild yourself stronger than before. The first step in healing is acknowledgement. You cannot heal from something you refuse to face. Many people suppress their pain, burying it deep inside, thinking that if they ignore it long enough, it will disappear. But buried emotions do not disappear. They grow. They manifest in different ways, through anger, bitterness, distrust, or even physical illness. The body and mind are deeply connected, and unresolved emotions have a way of showing up in unexpected places. The only way to truly heal is to confront your pain, to sit with it, to understand it, and then to release it. Releasing pain does not mean forgetting what happened. It does not mean pretending it did not affect you. It means deciding that it will no longer control you. It means understanding that you are more than what happened to you. You are more than the betrayal, more than the disappointment, more than the hurt. You are not defined by your past unless you allow yourself to be. True healing begins when you shift your focus from what was lost to what can be gained. One of the biggest obstacles to healing is attachment. People become attached to their pain because it is familiar. They replay the same stories in their minds, reinforcing the same emotions, holding on to the past as if it provides some form of comfort. But the truth is, holding on to pain only keeps you stuck. It keeps you tied to a version of yourself that no longer exists. Growth requires letting go. It requires breaking free from the narratives that no longer serve you. Healing also requires self-compassion. Many people are harder on themselves than they are on anyone else. They blame themselves for what happened. They question their worth. They wonder if they deserve the pain they experienced. But self-blame only deepens the wounds. You must learn to extend to yourself the same grace and kindness that you would offer to someone you love. You would not tell a close friend that they are weak for feeling pain, so why do you say it to yourself? You would not tell someone else that they deserve to be hurt, so why do you believe it about yourself? Healing starts with how you speak to yourself, how you see yourself, and how you choose to treat yourself in the aftermath of pain. Another crucial aspect of healing is learning to detach from the need for closure. Many people delay their healing because they are waiting for an apology, waiting for someone to acknowledge their wrongdoing, waiting for an explanation that may never come. But true healing does not come from external validation. It comes from within. You do not need an apology to move forward. You do not need someone else to take responsibility for your healing. The moment you decide to stop looking for a closure outside of yourself is the moment you reclaim your power. Forgiveness is often a necessary part of the healing process, not because the other person deserves it, but because you deserve peace. Carrying resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. It does not harm them, it harms you. It keeps you tied to the past, preventing you from fully stepping into your future. Forgiveness does not mean what happened was okay. It does not mean you have to reconcile with the person who hurt you. It simply means you are choosing to release the burden of anger and resentment so that you can move forward unchained. Healing also involves surrounding yourself with the right people. You cannot heal in the same environment that broke you. You cannot expect to grow if you are constantly surrounded by negativity, by people who remind you of your pain, or by those who do not support your healing journey. Sometimes healing requires distancing yourself from certain people, changing your surroundings, and being intentional about who you allow into your space. Your environment plays a significant role in your ability to move forward, and protecting your peace is one of the most important things you can do. Another key factor in healing is shifting your focus from what happened to what is possible. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? Start asking, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? How can I use this experience to become a better version of myself? The moment you shift from victimhood to empowerment is the moment true healing begins. Life does not happen to you, it happens for you. Every experience, no matter how painful, holds a lesson. Every setback has the potential to set you up for something greater. Healing is also about rediscovering joy. When you have been hurt, it is easy to close yourself off from happiness, to believe that you will never feel truly whole again. But you must make the conscious choice to seek joy, to do things that make you feel alive, to surround yourself with positivity. Healing is not just about removing pain, it is about replacing it with something better. It is about finding laughter again, finding peace in the small moments, allowing yourself to dream again, to love again, to believe that life still has beautiful things to offer. One of the most important lessons in healing is understanding that it is